everything I thought went on stage. It didn't go into a podcast.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. It's great. You should do less podcasts.
So it seems like it might be over for Two Bears, One Cave because the fall from grace in Tom and Bert's case is genuinely astronomical. To the point where I don't think you can name many other podcasts that have dropped this much in such a short amount of time. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but a couple of weeks ago, I posted a video where I talked about how the new plan, which was bringing in Stavros and Chris for the summer to take over the podcast, might work, but only as long as Chris and Stavros stayed on. The moment those two stopped hosting, I predicted the show would go back to what it used to be, a dying podcast that nobody really cared about. But it turns out I was wrong, because the podcast didn't just go back to what it was, in fact, it got worse. If you look at the like to dislike ratio when Tom and Bert returned from their Hollywood endeavors, it's clear most people aren't happy about the podcast going back to its old format. And if you compare the views Tom and Bert used to get before Stavros and Chris took over with the views they're getting now that they've come back, it's obvious the numbers have dropped quite a lot. Now, I feel like we should start with the first episode of Two Bears, One Cave, where Tom and Bert came back to see if anything had changed. Maybe they'd become different people who are actually bearable to listen to.
Welcome to the final episode ever of Two Bears, One Cave. It was a blast while it lasted, and we're here to sign off. We thank Stavi and Chris Distefano for taking over. We know you enjoy them, and you will continue to enjoy them. Bert, good to see you.
Good to see you. Did you watch any other episodes?
I would watch
not, you did not.
I saw parts of it. I didn't.
You
see the whole
don't
thing.
watch any fucking podcasts.
That's true, but I did watch parts of it. I started the first one. I watched about 25 minutes of it, and then I would pick up little parts of the other ones. Yeah.
They're
Did you watch them all?
I watched everyone.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. No. I watched the clips. I just know they were trashing us, telling them the whole time. I saw
they were great.
Stavi's so fucking funny, man.
They're both.
Distefano is. I think Chris is fucking hysterical. I think he's one of the funniest guys alive.
Yeah, I totally agree. They're both just out of this world, charismatic, funny. I mean, they're so entertaining. Like whenever I do a podcast with them or even see them socially, it's always nonstop laughs. They're fantastic.
Did you see Chris on hosting Kimmel?
I did. I watched his monologue. Yeah.
He was great.
Yeah. Fantastic.
His monologue was so natural.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, he's the man, dude. So fucking funny.
What do you think the model's going to be for saving the late night genre?
Alright, turns out they didn't change at all. They're still the same Bert and Tom we're used to. Now, I have to point out the hypocrisy because they go on talking about the late night show genre dying. Now, I don't disagree, it's definitely not what it used to be, but are Bert and Tom really the guys who should be discussing how to save late night TV when they can't even save their own dying podcast if their lives depended on it? I mean, maybe these guys should focus a little bit more on that instead of worrying about the late night genre. Now, let's move on because what follows might be one of the most awkward moments in Two Bears, One Cave history.
Rethink it.
Don't you feel, okay, here's the question. The first question is, how did you feel not having a podcast for a month, 2 months?
Fantastic.
It was amazing.
One of the best. It was the best. I would love to never do this again.
It was the greatest feeling I've ever had in my life to not,
you know, shake on it? Okay.
You know, it's so funny. I've never been funnier in my entire life.
Than when you were there?
When I was there, casually funny, just talking to people and making people laugh. And I think because I'm talking so much, I forgot what it's like to be a regular person in conversations with people and be spontaneously funny.
Yeah.
And my stand-up was so, everything I thought went on stage, it didn't go into a podcast.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. It's great. You should do less podcasts.
Do you know how many podcasts? Do you know how much content I put out?
No. I mean, I have an idea.
3 podcasts.
Yeah.
We can think about this. 3 podcasts out of 7, every 3 a week out of 7 days.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's time to quit.
Okay.
Great. I love you. I'll see you on Saturday.
Yeah.
Are we saying bye?
From that clip alone, it seems like Tom is ready to be done with the podcast, while Bert looks like he's still resisting the idea that maybe this is truly as far as Two Bears, One Cave will go, which honestly, it really does seem like it. The podcast is definitely not what it used to be. It feels like the majority of the audience checked out a long time ago, and I think that applies to Tom as well. A big part of it seems to be that Tom is far more interested in making movies and shows these days than in being a podcaster, which I have to imagine Bert isn't exactly thrilled about.
How do we make this to make us happier? Can I tell you? It was so fun. And then I did one podcast with Jeff Foxworthy.
Yeah.
And I was engaged and I was interested.
Yeah.
And I hadn't done one in 2 months. And I was like, and I was present. It's like, it was crazy. It's yeah. I mean, there is such thing as doing too much, man. Buddy, I lived the life where I wanted to prove to everyone I could do everything.
Yeah.
Like I literally was like, and I remember when you said we need to take time off from Two Bears to do our shows, I was so defiant.
I know.
Because I'm still subscribing to that model of it's got to be released every week. It's got to be released every week. It's got to be released every week, same time. No matter if it's good or not. It doesn't matter if it's good. It's got to be released. If it's good, I don't care if it's good. Did it get released? Like that's the mentality I've been at. And I don't know.
Surprisingly, we got a rare glimpse of self-awareness from Bert when he pointed out one of the biggest problems with Two Bears, One Cave. The fact that the show sticks to the same rigid schedule no matter how good or bad the week's episode actually is. That kind of routine ends up producing bland filler conversation that nobody really cares to hear. A much better approach, in my opinion, would be for them to record only when they actually have something worth saying, whether it's a genuinely interesting topic or a guest people are excited to hear from. But of course, that bit of self-awareness went in one ear and out the other. Because even though Bert admitted this is one of the show's core problems, they've gone right back to the old formula of cranking out one episode every week. And if I'm being honest, that formula just isn't working. It's still predictable and nowhere near as good as they seem to think it is. Now, before we dive any further into the second episode they've released since coming back, let's take a look at the comments to see what people actually thought of this episode. It feels like Tom is trying to break up with Bert, but he doesn't have the heart to do it. I think it's probably time to wrap it up, boys. If you came into this video totally ignorant of who these guys are, you'd never guess they were actually comedians. Summer Bears reminded us that comedy podcasts are actually supposed to be funny and entertaining. This is a hard left turn from that. So yeah, it's pretty clear that not many people are happy about Bert and Tom coming back. Now, in the second episode, since their return, it actually seems like all that hate has started to get to them.
Welcome to another episode of Two Bears, One Cave. We apologize, but we are back. Yes, we've reached out to Stavi and Chris and other people, and we'll see what their avails are. But for this week, it's us.
We're so sorry, guys. We're so sorry. I feel so bad that you guys have to listen to us.
I do too. And you don't have to. That's the only thing.
Now, I'm not really sure if Tom and Bert actually read the comments, but I'd assume they at least keep an eye on their like to dislike ratio, and judging by the first episode they released after coming back, that must have been a real shock to the system, seeing just how many dislikes the podcast racked up simply because the two of them returned. As for this episode, the only remotely interesting part was Bert coming up with a brilliant idea, and when I say brilliant, I'm being completely ironic.
So that's our deal, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now can I pitch you our $1 million idea?
Yeah.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Me and you are going to pimp an OnlyFans page.
We're going to pimp. So we're going to be an OnlyFans content creators pimps?
Pimps or managers or producers, whatever, but pimps is a more accurate word. What we're going to do is we're going to find someone a fan of ours who has no OnlyFans presence at all.
Very little.
I'd say none.
Well, none. Well, that means like, do they have a channel? You got to have someone that's.
I think it's better if we take a virgin flower.
Someone who's like, I've not even thought of doing this, and we're like, you should be
doing this, and go and go. Let's, because I mean, okay, we can take a star and just pimp her out, and just I guess more people will go see her.
No,
we can
but
take like
I'm
someone
saying,
who's got like a low key presence.
I think a low key presence.
Okay,
I think he's somebody who's already doing it.
Okay,
so that you're not like going like you should sell your bot. Like they should be already doing it.
Okay, so we'll take a low key presence.
Okay,
and then we will simply manage their account.
Okay,
we will help them build a following.
Promote the shit out of them.
The shit out of them, but we take a very small cut.
Now, let me just remind you that this is a conversation between two guys who are married and have kids, which makes it insane that these are the kinds of things they're saying in front of a camera. And sure, I know the excuse most people will give is that they were just trying to be funny and that they were not being serious, but as you will see a little bit later, I honestly think they were being serious. Now, if you look through the comments, a lot of people are actually upset with Bert for calling streamers like Jack Doherty and Aiden Ross geniuses. Bert calling Jack Doherty a genius has to be among the top 3 dumbest things he has ever said. Calling Jack Doherty and Aiden Ross, or really any streamer, a genius is so gross. Jack Doherty is one of the biggest tools to exist. No surprise, Bert is a fan.
Yeah. But I like he's in that universe. I mean, that universe is, by the way, the most brilliant universe that ever existed in the entire world. The group that is Kai Cenat and Drewski and Aiden Ross and Jack Doherty and all these streamers who
are you calling them the most brilliant people in the history of the world?
Do they make? How much does Kai Cenat make? How much did Kai Cenat make?
I don't care what they make. I don't say like,
buddy. What a cheat code. The guys figured out how to make $160 million a year.
What?
Dude, he makes more money than they're making crazy money.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I don't think they're geniuses. I just think they're, found
just right time, right place.
Yeah, I mean, like, kudos to them. I'm happy for them that they're doing that well, and they found their audience. It's got 43 million fucking followers. That's great, but.
I mean, when you look at that, like they have single-handedly recreated entertainment. I mean,
it's a whole new format.
So yeah, I don't think there's any saving someone like Bert. The guy has been so detached from reality and living in his own bubble for so long that he genuinely sees nothing wrong with what he said. In fact, he seemed completely comfortable saying it. And that just goes to show you don't always have to be good at what you do if you've got the right friends. In Bert's case, having someone like Joe Rogan around was enough to give him a career, even if he's been out of touch with reality for most of his life. Now, let's move on to the latest episode of Two Bears, One Cave, where it seems like Tom and Bert's self-esteem took a serious hit.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Two Bears, One Cave. It's your favorite podcasters, Tom and Bert. So, how are you feeling today? Is your self-esteem up?
My self-esteem's through the roof, Tommy.
Wow, that's great, man. And why is that?
I have a joke that I've written that it happened to me. And you're the one that kind of created the joke.
Really?
Yeah, I have 2 jokes about you in my new hour.
Oh, boy.
I have 2 jokes about you. But this one's my favorite one. And it's so good, Tom. It's better than anything I've ever written because the punchline is just 2 words. And I don't need to say anything other than I'm so proud of this joke. I'm so proud of this joke.
I'm excited to see it.
It's the only reason I fucking love stand-up. I don't love anything the way I love stand-up. The feeling, only us, meaning like me, you, Louis, Stanhope, Rogan, Shane, only us, real, true, pure stand-ups know the joy in figuring something out and making it funny and then tweaking it to make it more funny. It is the fucking greatest. Yeah.
It's the most addictive component of doing stand-up. It's why you can't quit. It's because there is no thrill like figuring out a joke. It is the most fun.
So I just have to point this out. Bert putting himself and Rogan in the same category as the heavy hitters of comedy has to be funnier than any joke Bert has ever made. I mean, I don't think anyone who actually enjoys good comedy could say that sentence without laughing their ass off at how ridiculous it sounds. Now, I should also explain why I said earlier that I don't think Bert and Tom were joking about the OF bit, because during this episode they had a lot of their fans submitting pictures for Bert and Tom to review and basically decide who was going to be their OF girl.
What were we talking about before? Hey, let's talk about OnlyFans. Do we have some
Oh yeah, we're talking about
Yeah.
Let's talk about OnlyFans. Okay.
Do we have any submissions?
Do we have any submissions for people who are going to try to blow up? You said you want to manage them.
Look, I don't need any of their money. I just want to help blow them up, Like I want them to be fun, and I don't want to whore them out, but I want to help them create content that I think would be enjoyable for our fans.
Okay, well, here's somebody who said, "Hey, what's up? We need an OnlyFans with a fat, hairy guy." And in parentheses, he writes, "Me, nothing but funny videos and recreations of videos like the girls whose boob slips out in the drift car, but with me instead."
Okay.
So he hasn't even started. I thought we were going to just take people who have like some presence and it's just not big.
Okay. Who's
Okay,
she?
here's one. It says, "Good morning, Julia. My name is Kira. I'm 24. I live in Oregon. I have a OnlyFans. I didn't get much traction on there because I don't have a huge social media following.
Nice.
I made most of my money selling pics, vids, panties, socks on other platforms. I've taken a break, but I 100% want to get back into it. I've had a lot of fun. I've been listening to you guys for so many years. I actually got the idea to start initially from an old YMH episode. Good that we're inspiring people. I think we could do some awesome stuff together. Keep them high and tight. Love you guys." Okay.
Let's see images.
Oh, wow.
I love her.
Alright, I think you guys get the point. They went through more pictures sent in by fans, some of which were obviously quite provocative given that the submissions were for OnlyFans. Now, here's the thing, I don't think this is a joke. I genuinely think they see this as a good idea, maybe even as a potential business endeavor. And that to me really sums up what Two Bears One Cave has become, a podcast where two middle-aged men with wives and kids are sitting around looking at provocative pictures of women to decide who their next OF girl should be. Honestly, that alone shows why this podcast is in a constant state of decline.